All right, I think we're there.
Da, 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 da. Matt sucks dick. Da, 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 da. Matt sucks big dick. Please mute it. God, I hope he's recording because he's a D-bag.
All right, we're back. We're back.
Matt sucks big dick. He's a little bitch.
Perfect. All right, now we'll record. It's streaming though. Don't worry. Don't worry. Where the hell did you go? Eves.
The boomer's back.
Oh,
and the boomer's back.
Good. I was worried. So, how's it going, buddy?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm 100 years old. I feel like this pandemic just aged me 25 years. And
it was a real succubus.
And even like the first year, we probably drank more than we usually did, but not like alcoholic. So it can't be just that. I'm just fucking tired. I'm just tired. You know who I'm tired of?
Who's that?
Stacey Abrams.
What has Stacey Abrams ever done to warrant any sort of attention ever? Like what the
hold on, you have to preface it because they'll use the attack that you're racist. None of this has to do with any of her skin color. She's a horrible, horrible human being. For the people who attack Trump,
I'm not sure she's real.
For the people who attack Trump on saying election fraud, this, that, and say nothing about Stacey Abrams saying that she should be governor of Georgia. Like,
oh, I know.
Do you not see that?
It's insane.
She's the. And then she took a picture.
So there's these cast of characters on. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let's finish this part. I've got this theory.
On top of that, so there's this picture of her sitting in front of children during. She was reading books from Black History Month, I think, and it's her without a face mask, and then all the peasant children in the background wearing face masks. Like, yes, in the grand scheme of things, it is kind of petty to harp on her about that. But it just adds to this narrative that it's rules for thee, not for ye. Like, it's and then people wonder why these truckers down in Canada are so not even pissed off, politely protesting. Oh, and by the way, Samson Moss, you're a G. Samson Moss, you sound like you should be a superhero. That dude's a G. Okay.
Samson's awesome. Yeah.
Samson, yes.
So, what has Stacey Abrams ever done to deserve not one but two runs attempts at governor, and like put with lots of money behind it too? What has she done?
So not so much that what does she deserve to run, because everybody deserves to run, but the question you're asking is, why is she anointed as the all-star? Like,
Right.
that's your all-star? That's your
Yes.
all-star.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So okay, let me preface that yes, everybody has the ability to run. Everybody should,
Yes.
what the fuck ever. But the fact that so much money and attention got put behind this lady, who, from what I can tell, has done less than both Robert Francis O'Rourke and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, possibly the two worst of the worst on the Democratic side. So you got a white Irish dude who calls himself Beto, and
he gets haircuts.
he skateboards because he's so cool.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's so cool, and he's gonna. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take your guns. Yeah, okay. No, you're not. You're gonna send somebody to try, or you want to send somebody to try. You're not doing shit, amigo. And that's if by chance Bobby O'Rourke is listening, amigo is friend in Spanish. Amigo.
Matt, it's like the stars have aligned. Do you know what commercial's on right now? With a picture of a lion and Jesus's crown of thorns in the background with the eagle, and he's got a beautiful flag and then a certificate of probably bullshit. You know whose commercial's on right now? That's right, Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell.
He's hawking his shoes today.
Well, he's got to hawk everything he can hawk because, he's going to find the election fraud. Mike Lindell somehow made $1 billion. Stacey Abrams has not done anything. Barack Obama had done more than she had by the time he got anointed as the next big one. Beto O'Rourke at least got elected to Congress once. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is in Congress. Stacey Abrams, and I'm on like the Democratic donor email list because I donated $25 to Tulsi Gabbard during the last presidential primary, and so I get constant like 6-8 Democratic fundraising emails a day, and at least one of those emails every day leads off with like, Stacey Abrams wants you to, or Stacey Abrams just said. And why should I care what Stacey Abrams thinks?
Was she an organizer before she ran? Is that like her claim to fame?
That would be the only thing I could think of.
Here, I'm going to do some research. Continue on.
Because the first I heard of her is when she ran for governor the last go around, so 4 years ago, and she was just like, this, they're like, this is who we got to elect. And then there was a whole bunch of she kind of reminds me of this Brian Flores guy, except Brian Flores has done more to deserve attention than Stacey Abrams as well.
Oh, she was a lawyer and voting rights activist. Well, I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she served in the Georgia House of Representatives from 2007 to 2017, serving as the minority leader 2011 2017. Okay, we'll give her a little bit.
Okay. She put in some time. All right. Fair enough. We didn't know about her because we're not from Georgia, because Georgia is nothing but humidity all the time. So fuck Georgia.
Oh, okay? And can I put something out there? Our peaches in Grand Junction are better than Georgia peaches. There, I said it. Fucking said it.
I think so. Anyhow, that being said, fuck Stacey Abrams. Yeah, that's it's just the latest example of shit that has been happening this entire goddamn pandemic. Whether it was Newsom at the French Laundry without a mask when he's telling everybody else to stay home, don't go out to eat. and wear a mask, and even in your own house, you know. And then if you do go out to eat, make sure you have your mask up in between bites of food, because that makes sense. People follow the science. And then if that doesn't work, 2 masks, and now they're saying pantyhose over the N95 mask.
Oh, I
And
saw
like,
that. I saw.
God,
Did that come straight from Australia?
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know.
Like, and like, this is your all-star. Like, the one. Why couldn't you get behind a Tulsi Gabbard or even a Harold Ford Jr.? I love
uh,
Harold Ford Jr. I'm sad that he's not in Congress. I mean, he is on the Democratic side, but he's just practical. Like,
yeah.
why?
Well,
Okay.
because I don't know. And the crazy thing is, like, did you see the Tucker Carlson bit? It's like Michael Jackson is on TV, and it was
Mm-mm.
just it was just a video of Pelosi with her like weird sculpted eyebrows talking, like she's giving some speech, and
She
it was
looks like she's just surprised at everything.
pretty well,
Yeah.
or alarmed.
Or she just like somebody came up behind her and frightened her.
She
What?
is she is 82 and drinks a lot of martinis, from what I
She's
hear.
pickled. She's pickled as fuck.
I mean, more power to her on that end, but oh, when do
Can
we get to like put a age limit on politicians?
Oh fuck, man. It'll never happen.
No,
But
of
I know
course
what
not.
you
Like
mean.
just like term limits will never happen.
How about like what's the average age? I don't know. What 70 good? Let's do I kind of want the what's the age right now for Congress? President's 35.
Congress is 25.
Okay, bump. How about this? We bump up. I want 30 and older in there. I'm sorry. I just like me, us at 25 just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah,
35 to 75. Let's make it an even 40.
yeah. No, 75
No,
too old, man. I'd say
70.
I'd say 30 to 65 is solid.
Okay, boom.
65.
Fucking compromise.
What? Yeah, because what's the retirement age? It's about 65, ain't it?
It's around there, yeah. I'll
Yeah.
probably
So
try to retire at 65. Yeah.
let's go with like whatever is considered like Social Security retirement age.
Uh-huh.
That's your cutoff for public, elected official too. You can be a public servant, but you are not an elected official in like any form of power.
Now, would that extend to Supreme Court?
I think so. I think so.
Trying to think, like who's a 75-year-old? I'm like, yep, I trust everything they say. Mike Ellis, and even he pisses me off.
Well, yeah, but I love my dad. Like he's awesome, but I really don't want him in a position of power right now either. Like, because he's one of the few politicians that I've ever known or known of that like truly gave a shit about his constituents,
Yeah.
and still he's don't have a whole lot left to live for, and his give a fuck a meter has been broke for a long time, and so like he might cause some shit at this stage in
He
life.
and plus he's finally found his little niche, just fucking with waterite people.
Yeah, I mean
Fucking with the government.
he does a good job at that, and
Yes, he does.
so yeah, like he's good there. It's not a position of power. He's still doing public service, and he still gets to be involved in politics, but he doesn't have he has to plead his case and actually make it a convincing case nowadays.
Uh-huh.
Whereas, yeah, yeah. So she requested, back onto the Stacey Abrams deal. She
Mm-hmm.
requested that everybody in the room wear a mask. That was at her request. And then there's a photo op with a bunch of kids wearing a mask needlessly wearing a mask. This was the straw that broke the camel's back that made me like decide like we're homeschooling, because no, I'm not gonna send my 5-year-old girl to sit in class all day with a fucking mask on when she has literally a statistically insignificant of dying from COVID. I get the spreading, all that, but also CDC just came out and said cloth masks didn't do a goddamn thing. Something I've been saying since this whole thing started. But hey, I'm a conspiracy theorist. So I remember when we got YouTube strikes over that. We can say that now because the CDC finally admitted it. So we're not misinformation anymore.
Let me clarify. Did they say cloth masks, including N95s, or just cloth masks?
Cloth masks.
Which was, I'm sure N95 still does it, but most people were wearing cloth masks. So yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And even the N95, like they help some, yes, but I've wore N95 cleaning grain bins out, and guess what? There's still dust getting through. I can promise you.
And Matt's shit particles can go through anything. So there you go.
That's right. That's right. Except some days not through my beehole. I have to little, push a little harder. But
speaking of asshole, I had a very, very good question. So I sent this video to my buddy, and it's this guy in a weight room, and he's putting away the plates, right? And he's putting them back, and one falls, and he like catches it out of the corner of his eye, just like slick move. And he immediately looks down at his hands and starts to do the Spider-Man fucking web shooter.
Yeah.
And like starts to do it. He's like, he was testing to see if he was Spider-Man. It's fucking hilarious, most natural thing. But
that's awesome.
Then my buddy asked me, now, does Spider-Man have webs that shoot out of his dick? And I said, that's an interesting question. Also, on top of that, does he have web shooting out of his ass? And if it was truly accurate, shouldn't Spider-Man just shoot web out of his ass?
Yeah.
Like, if it if it's a spider, shoots it out of his abdomen, like, wouldn't Peter Parker be fucking just shooting fucking shit out of his ass?
I mean, it would make for a hilarious Spider-Man if he's just pounding it, running, just like jumping from building to building and just pounding off, just
right, or like swinging ass backwards, like he has a wedgie going on, fucking just swinging.
Oh, it's see, man, because you're either swinging by your asshole or by your dick.
Yeah,
in that scenario, I guess you could spit like you'd hawk a loogie, but it's just a web and it just like.
I mean, if I had to choose swinging from my dick or swinging from my asshole, I'm definitely taking the asshole because, man, my fucking asshole is fucking strong. It's those Kegels.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, if you go about the physics of this, and I can tell you the physics at least from on the bovine side of things, because I've done a lot of necropsy. So say it's connected there somehow, and then like you hit the end of it, like if the web isn't like stretching with it, and if it's just like a hard stop, say like a polyester rope, there's no stretch to that. Like, so when you come tight, I mean, just a big jerk, especially if like it's at full speed and you shut down, back. Well, that's just gonna unravel your asshole and your small intestine and then your large intestine, and it's just, you're just gonna like rip your guts out asshole first.
I mean, let's be honest, that sounds more appealing than my dick being ripped off.
It does. But I'm saying, like, it might happen the same way because, like, I mean, everything's connected inside. So, either way, I still think it's better than like whenever the eventual campaign year when Stacey Abrams runs for president. I mean, I would still rather either one of those than listening to a bunch of her campaign speeches.
You see that, listeners? It's like a classic Laurel and Harvey. Laurel and Harvey, right? Was
Mm,
that the duo?
Laurel,
Classic
Laurel and Hardy. Yeah.
Hardy. Laurel sets it up, and 5 minutes later, Hardy just brings her right back to what we
Oh
were
yeah.
talking about. Fucking genius. Mhm.
Callback. Callback. Uh, so, speaking of callbacks, last time we spoke, we were talking about the Joe Rogues, Joe Rogan,
Mhm.
Joe Brogan.
Yeah.
Boy, there's a little bit of blood in the water now, and they're full send on it. And I was listening to his podcast today, and I don't think he's all that concerned, honestly. I don't think he's that concerned. He's like, this is a political hit job, and it is. It 100% is. And
Well,
yeah.
it's what they do. It's like you can't hit him on one issue and then you dig something up from his past. Like I haven't.
Mhm.
Have you heard the video? He says the context. I haven't even heard the like. Was he telling jokes in he said
Okay,
it or what?
so this video is one of those compilation deals. So all
Yeah,
you hear is him just saying that, and that's what is the point of saying the N word rather than nigger? Because when you say the N word, people automatically think it. It's the same. It's a word. I understand it's an offensive word, but it's a word. So that it was a clip, something like that. Except he had done it over. He's been doing the podcast. I think he said 12 years, and so there was like it was a compilation of him saying it like 20 different times, but all you hear him saying is the word. That's it.
just after
And so
bop
it's
bop bop bop. Huh?
yeah. And so yeah, it looks bad. But as he said, there is absolutely no context. It's not even taken out of context. There is zero context. It's just like, here's Joe Rogan saying nigger a bunch, and that's basically what it is. And if that offends anybody, I apologize. It's a word. I get it. Whatever. But
And then I
all these
sent you
people,
over the clip of the Barstool guy
yes,
talking to the other guy. And like so here's what started me and Matt talking about it. The Barstool guy went on with the three guys who are part of the super PAC,
yeah, Midas Touch was the name of their podcast,
which is
and they
hilarious.
have a yeah. Go ahead.
Like I was just the funniest part if you watched it when they said, what did they say? Oh, we're all about talking about talking about different opinions and getting people together to talk blah 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 blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
you fucking idiot, dude. Like
Well, and
anybody
then
who
then
knows what a pack is or have been a part of a
yeah.
pack, your only goal is to destroy the other side. That's your goal. That's your
Yeah.
job.
Hey, and that's all due in part to of the good folks such as Mitt Romney, who was a big champion of the Citizens United movement, which meant that now corporations are people, and therefore corporation money is people money, and it is not subject to any, or it's not subject to any spending levels on political campaigns because of First Amendment rights.
Well, and so like even in the interview, who's the guy's name? Portnoy? What?
Portnoy, yeah.
Apparently, he got a whole. So it's three brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to listen to it, like it's 40 minutes. It's actually pretty entertaining. But basically, Portnoy got a text message chain from one of the
Yeah.
brothers' fiancés, and apparently in the text he said the same word that he's bashing Rogan for. But of
Yeah.
course, like you can see it, like he brought up. He's like, "Does anybody have a fiance named Lexi?" And all you can
Yeah.
see is just, "Oh
Yeah.
fuck!"
The color just drained out of his face.
Like he looked like the guy who chose flight when he had that altercation with Don Lemon.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy is like a younger, not quite, maybe not quite as narcissistic Donald Trump. Like he's in the same vein, he's a Boston guy, but he's a fucking savage. Like he does not care, and he's very funny and he's very very confident. And they have tried to take him down any number of times because if you look, and it makes a lot of sense why, because he's in the same vein as Joe Rogan, where he just does his own thing. He built an audience out of nothing, and became a huge like media phenomenon, and so much so that he started taking ratings away from these other media outlets. So, and he's also he's not bound by any agenda. He doesn't spout the typical talking points, and he's just an independent guy, but he's a threat to like the corporate media structure, just same way Rogan is. And people might think that's crazy, but again, if you look it up, when they did like the Nielsen ratings for the major cable news shows versus Joe Rogan had a bigger audience per episode than the top 10 combined. Combined. CNN can't even break 1 million viewers every night, and Joe Rogan gets 11 million on average per episode.
So does he, when he does his show, how long are his shows, and does he do them like every day?
He usually does like 3 or 4 a week, and they're anywhere from an hour and a half to 4 hours. Just depends on who it is. And the thing about Rogan is it's not so much him, it's the guests that he has on. He talks to, like, he had Sanjay Gupta on, trying to convince him to get the vaccine. And then he had like Michael Osterholm, who thought, COVID was going to kill off half the world's population at some point. And then he had Robert Malone and Peter McCullough, who are like the outcasts of the public medicine world right now, because they spoke out against like focusing strictly on the vaccine and not other treatments, and just basically not having the publicly acceptable point of view on COVID. And that's when they started coming after him. And when that didn't work, when they brought up the big guns and Neil Young pulled his music, and that didn't work, they had to pull out the racism. And because racism, I mean, that's like the kryptonite for that's like the finishing move for a Democratic or left wing hit job, is like you slice them up, and then bam, you hit them with the racism finishing move.
It's the scorpion pulling off his mask and the skull, and then just lighting your ass on fire.
The funny part about it is, so I don't believe anything those Midas Touch guys said, because they're a left wing super PAC. And
they're fucking hacks. They're fucking hacks. They're hired guns who probably their pitch to people is like, oh, social media can change everything. Mm-hmm. We can do social media, and then they spend 5 minutes a day on it and fucking get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're fucking hacks.
That's basically so I was listening to Breaking Points, which is it's a pretty decent news show. I think both the hosts are kind of they're not particularly deep, but they do a pretty decent job. But they happen to go in on this Midas Touch group, and it turns out that all they do is make political advertisements, which they get paid for, and then they get a bunch of clicks, and then they get paid to do more of those. And so they're partnered with this other page called Patriot Takes, which I guess
it says right on, the only thing on it says partners with Midas Touch. Like that's right. Literally what it says.
Yeah. And so basically what they do, and it's not a bad idea on like Patriot Takes, at least takes a little bit of work, because they, from what I understand, I haven't looked them up because I honestly, I don't care. Like you said, these guys are hacks, but apparently what they do is they were originally called Parlor Takes. So they would go through the, like, whatever's trending on Parlor and screenshot it and just share. It's kind of like Libs of TikTok. on the Twitter account where they just take the best, like, super progressive woke idiots and repost their that they find on TikTok, and they just repost it on Twitter, and it's a great follow. It's I sent you that one where the chick said that there was literally no evidence to suggest that losing weight was good for your health.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean,
All right then.
Maybe if you're like malnutrited, don't have good nutrition, maybe, but that might be the only
right.
method.
But
or if you have anorexia, that might okay, you got us there.
Yeah. So what this account did is basically did that, except for right wing nut jobs, which there's a fair share of those too, and yeah. So like whatever, it's I'm sure it's a fun account. I'm sure they got a great sense of humor. But
the best, I bet, the best.
They resurfaced this video who Dave Portnoy said was edited exactly the same way a video that they used to try to take him down was edited.
So I was going to ask you, they said Alex Jones edited it. Is that the Alex Jones that we know and hope that will testify in front of Congress in the near future? Is that the Alex Jones?
I assume that's who they're talking about, and I hope Alex Jones gets up there and just makes a spectacle about pleading the fifth. I hope he just like goes on a rant and then pleads the fifth.
You know what? What Congress should really do? They should make it like a fight card. So Alex Jones is the main event. Like for an undercard, let's get Mike Lindell in there. Who else?
Do like Mike Lindell and Eric Trump for the co-main event, but the main event's Donald Trump and Alex Jones. I mean, that would be so good.
Can you imagine? Like what a farce that would be. Holy shit.
I heard a few people bitching about how the Supreme Court said that Trump couldn't invoke executive privilege or whatever. Like he had to turn over some records. And I am 100% okay with that. I want to see all of it. Every bit of it. Like, I don't care whose side you're on. I want to see all of it.
So then the next question is, and I have my answer already. Out of that treasure trove, what would be just the most entertaining? I would think those Kim's love letters to Trump. I think.
Oh.
But hey, are love letters part of it because it's very personable. So
I want to hear what Mike Pence's conversations were when he was by chance alone in a room with another woman that wasn't his wife.
It's all the transcript is like just dots for like awkward silence.
Or it's just
it was what?
It's the picture of the Hank Hill. This yeah, it's just a picture of Hank Hill's face like that.
You know what, Mike Pence? I feel like Mike Pence, when he tried to court his wife at the beginning, was just like Steve Carell in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Like he got her number, she gave it, and he calls her like, she's like, "Hello." He's like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
Like,
me and Brad still leave voicemails to each other like that. Like if he doesn't answer, that's what I leave as a.
I was wondering if you have time to talk about laundry detergent. No, okay.
Oh, you remember when they used to make comedies? That was a good time.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm not too bummed about all the Star Wars and superhero movies, but I definitely know what you mean.
Yeah, like I don't know.
When is a good Western going to come out? And I'm not talking about like a modern times Western. I want an actual Western. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I feel like I haven't been excited.
1883.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just pissed off. Uh, Clint Eastwood, if you're listening, just make the fucking prequel to Unforgiven and put your son in it, and make it as brutal as possible. Brutal. That's going to be my goal. This show is to try to get Clint Eastwood's attention and make that happen. That's the goal of this show for me.
There you go. Have you watched 1883 though?
I saw the first episode. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Sam Elliott. Dude's awesome. He's such a good actor. Tim McGraw wasn't bad. Faith Hill is really good in that show.
Man, she is aged well.
Fuck. That woman is a thoroughbred. Man.
Like, yeah. Nothing else to say.
Yeah. Congrats, Faith Hill. I mean,
congrats, Tim McGraw.
Yeah, fuck Tim McGraw. I don't like that guy. he did a fine job on the show, but fuck Tim McGraw. Faith Hill, kudos to you.
Speaking
Keep
of
that ass in shape.
My George Strait question the other night, like, ugh. George Strait to me sounds like what fucking the Backstreet Boys probably sound to you. Like, and both of us even admit, like, you kind of like George Strait. I could listen to some NSYNC sometimes, but like to your ears, it's probably just like fucking nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, there's some stuff that's like that for me, but see, George Strait's one of those things where everybody loves him. It's kind of like the Beatles, for me. Like everybody loves the Beatles, everybody loves George Strait, and I'm on both of them. I'm just like, yeah, they're okay, they're all right. Whatever. Yeah. I can understand the importance of the Beatles and shaping blah blah whatever. I don't fuck off. They're just not that good, I don't think.
George Strait is like, remember Compton's dad's comment about country music?
Yeah.
Oh, it's bullshit. All it is about it, your wife left you and your fucking horse died. Like that's
pretty
George
much
Strait music.
Yeah. See, and so I used to really like George Strait, like growing up. And then when I moved on, like I got way more into like the singer songwriter instead of just like the big country star, because then you find out they are just singers. They sing, and sometimes like they'll put on a big show. But George Strait has never wrote shit. he is no, he has not wrote a single one of his hit songs. He's got over 50 number one hits, and he has not wrote a single one of them.
Cool.
Lil Nas X has wrote more number one country hits than George Strait has, and that is a honest to God fact. You can look it up. George Strait sang a whole bunch of them, but he has not wrote anything. And I like people that write their own music. You know, I have nothing against somebody doing covers and whatnot, but like those are my favorite musicians are the ones that write all their own stuff, or at least they a majority of their own stuff with a cover here and there. But it's always like an obscure cover, like something that you wouldn't even know that they didn't write that song.
Right, like Tiny Tim, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. We should cover that song.
We should
send it to Tim.
Yeah.
Creep him the fuck out.
We could we have to do something with Puds on there too. I don't know. I say like we could I don't know. I'm trying to think
you know what we got to do this year, because we've been talking about it forever. Just got to do it. Will you go in with me to rent a clown around Halloween to like visit him at his apartment?
Fuck yeah, I would.
Like,
yes.
We gotta find the creepiest fucking clown. Not even intentionally creepy, but he just looks so pristine that he's creepy as fuck.
Oh, yeah, I think so. It's funny. One of the last when I was staying with my brother and sister-in-law there in Aurora, and they're both like incredibly nerdy, like just like they're into all the nerd shit, and so they're both really big into Halloween, but like on the spooky side of things, not like the jackass side of things like we are.
Not like the fun way.
Yeah, no, like and they're fun, but like they go all out on their costumes like we do, but like for perfection, where we we go for like max hilarity.
Right. Ours can be at a cosplay convention. Theirs could.
No, ours is just strictly to make people laugh. Like that's what we are.
Ours is like freshman year when I dressed up as a sheep fucker. Theirs is the Predator outfit.
Yeah, I dressed up as Milton from Office Space, and I bought the red swing line.
You did.
Yeah, or Nacho Libre. Like that was my peak Halloween was Nacho Libre.
I feel like that was all of ours because Brad went as his little sidekick and I went as Hulk Hogan. Grew out my hair for 6 months.
We should recreate that because my stash has just got better on that too. So
and all I have to do is just grow out my hair now. Oh man, that's gonna look so gnarly. If I have to do that for fucking work, people are gonna not come by my fucking desk because they don't want to look at me.
It'd be worth it though. It'd be worth it.
So continue, Aurora.
Oh yeah, so we went to the Halloween store because they're fucking nerds like that, and I had a good time in there because I was just taking pictures of all the creepy ass clowns, and I was gonna send them like every day of October to Tim, just send him a picture of a clown. And I think I had 31 pictures, but that I never did. But I still have those pictures somewhere. I might have to go find my other phone.
And then we were not in coordination, but I also sent Tim a picture of a clown because Halloween was coming around, and he accused me of being in cahoots with you, fucking with him. But no, it's just we both had a really good idea.
Yeah, so maybe I know I didn't send him one every day of the month, but that was my original plan. But it's that's a lot of effort,
You know what we should do? We should start a GoFundMe for this project, and then
GoFundMe, by the way.
And then, what I'm saying is, and then on October 30th, they can take our money away and then donate it to a cause.
Yeah.
You see that lead in? Did you see? You jumped the gun, McKinley.
Yeah, I know. Well, that thing really pissed me off. Yeah, GoFundMe. So
how is that illegal or not illegal?
Well, I don't know. I guess they finally just refunded everybody's money, which is typically what happens.
Right.
Like if they deem the cause unworthy or whatever, or if it gets shut down or whatever, like they just refund everybody their money. Except on this one, because it was $10 million, and then they declared that it was an occupation and not a protest, but yet they actively raised funds for the Capitol Hill occupied protest in Seattle. It has occupied in their name. And they changed it from autonomous zone to occupied protest halfway through the thing. So it was an intentional pivot towards occupation. But they actively campaigned for that, or pushed to get funding for that thing. But they shut this one down because it's now an occupation. And then they were like, oh, you can request a refund, but if you don't, then we'll just donate the money to a cause that we deem fit. You motherfuckers. Yeah, fuck GoFundMe.
That was the rant I wanted.
That's the rant we deserve. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I knew Aaron would appreciate that because
yes,
we detest hypocrisy like that. That's and a particularly blatant hypocrisy. Just like that was the whole thing about the January 6th deal. You're gonna make a big fucking stink over these idiots that walked in and made a mockery of the Capitol riots, but you didn't do a goddamn thing when Minneapolis and Portland and Seattle and San Francisco and LA and Chicago and New York and DC were being burnt. Well, not DC because the people in power live there, so they don't allow that to burn to the ground. But all these other fucking cities are burning to the ground, and who got arrested? They're trying to. They've got like 750 people that they've arrested over the Capitol Hill deal, and one person died in that protest, and she was shot by a cop in the neck. Like 40 people died in the BLM riots over the summer of 2020, and Kamala Harris was telling people, donate to this fund for all the people who get arrested in Minneapolis for looting and rioting. Yeah, I can't take any of you fuckers seriously. Not a one.
Does that deserve a McKinley? Huh. There it is. There it is. Fuck. Mm-hmm. You went that whole time doing the that like all the people want is a huh. All right. Fuck, man.
Huh. Well, I was working up to it. But yeah. And then now they're going after Rogan for saying a bunch of naughty words because it's the last ditch attempt to cancel him. And I will say Rogan needs to take a little page out of Donald Trump's playbook and don't apologize for bullshit. Like, man, it is what it is. You'd be like, hey, if you're offended, whatever. That you get. It's not like he's a new thing. He's been around for a while doing the same thing. But all of a sudden now that everybody's mad at him, you're going to bring that up and try to get everybody. The Rock, fuck The Rock too. He lit one day.
Oh yeah, I saw that actually.
Yeah, so like when Rogan made his statement about the COVID stuff and how they're going to put a disclaimer at the bottom of at the episodes that he talks about COVID, and Rock was like, "Yeah, I think that was very well articulated." And then the video comes out, and he's like, "Whoa, yeah, I'm out. Man, fuck off, guys. Stand by your friends or not." But yeah, fuck off. Like, I fuck The Rock. Everybody's too goddamn worried about blowback anymore. Just do your thing. People aren't actually upset. That's the thing. Nobody actually thinks Rogan's a racist. Nobody's actually outraged by it. It's all fake outrage.
The only blowback I'm worried about is when it's around. I was going to say my butthole, but that sounds better.
Well, not if it's coming from your butthole.
Not if you're Spider-Manning it.
Yeah, that's a whole new thing. Spider-Manning. So
would that just be like pointing your ass up and shitting on the walls?
Spider-Man.
Like scientifically accurate Spider-Manning. Scientifically accurate.
Oh man. Is that scientifically accurate? Well, this is a question for the Science Squatch. I bet they have that technology.
The art for this has to be something with like Spider-Man shitting out onto something politically or whatever. But Spider-Man has to be shitting like up in the air.
I think so. So on that on the GoFundMe topic, what started as a small fringe movement with unacceptable views is now turned into an occupation, and they've declared a state of emergency. The Ottawa mayor has publicly called for the military to be moved in.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. that sounds like something a liberal democratic Western country should do. Sounds like something anyone who believes in democracy should be in favor of.
Right. Well, and it almost, the whole story sounds like something from The Onion. Like they're getting they were trying to get some law passed that you couldn't honk your horn within certain areas or something like that. But then, like, this is the most Canadian thing ever. Apparently, the truckers made it so they start honking at 8 a.m. and then they quit, like, at a reasonable time. Like, they were even cognizant of the people around them.
Yeah, it's the most Canadian.
They're so polite.
Ever. Like, it's awesome, and like that's the coolest thing about it is it's polite, non-peaceful, and they keep harping on to like there was racist imagery being used. Well, there was one guy with a Confederate flag, and he was wearing a full ski mask, by the way, and he got booted out of that protest by the protesters. They're just like, no, fuck you, get out. That is not about what we're about. Get out.
Is that would that be the first time the Confederate flag has been flown in Canada? I didn't even know. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't either. Samson, where you at?
They also said that there was a Nazi flag being flown, but there's no pictures of that. They report it. And then and then they're like, it's become violent. They've made like a grand total of like 40 arrests, and it's all for like disturbing the peace. Like there's nothing violent about it. But now the
public urination.
Now the cops are like confiscating fuel. Like when people are bringing around fuel to these trucks, like the police are basically stealing it from them. And so
you know what? I thought of any of the countries that would go this crazy route, it'd be Australia, but they outdid them.
And the craziest part about all of this is it is goddamn cold in Canada right now. Like bitter fucking cold. Like no reason for anybody to be outside. It's stupid cold, and they're still out there for like 2 weeks now. And Trudeau, I don't know where the fuck Trudeau is. Like he got the COVID all of a sudden, and he's just been in hiding. And he won't talk to him even.
Matt, I gotta ask the most important question about this whole thing, though, to our Canadian listeners. Samson, if you're out there, I'm kind of pissed at Matt because he didn't ask this. Do you guys in Canada hate Canadian geese as much as we fucking hate them here? Is that just an American thing? They shit all over our baseball. They shit all over our baseball fields. I'm sorry. They just do.
Well, there's that, but there's also, you remember the hill behind the student center, the grassy knoll, if you will.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
I used to love that. We're just watching the hippies just frolic in all the goose shit once the weather got warm.
Oh yeah. In like April or May, and they're still kind of soft, and then they get up and all of them have just like the white patches from the shit on them. Yeah.
And just the hippies that come out to enjoy the weather and just frolic among the goose shit.
Frolic like you're back home in Canada. Surrounded.
Yeah, I don't know. According to Letterkenny, they like the Canada Gooses, so I don't know.
That was another question. How accurate is Letterkenny when it comes to Canadian things? Like, do you guys like to fight all the time like the Australians, or what?
I think it's fairly accurate.
Yeah.
There's a guy from Saskatchewan that listens that he said that like how they talk and everything's pretty on point. So
Well,
it's a great show.
South Park lied to us because I've seen Canadians and they don't have oval heads and their mouth doesn't come apart when they talk.
I know, and their tires are not square either.
No, they're not. Like what the like what can we believe?
I don't know, but I'll still believe South Park. I'll let them slide on their Canuck slander. Fuck. But yeah, that stay strong up there, all the Canadian truckers and well, just everybody up there in Canada that's trying to get some of your liberty back. Hold strong.
You know, it'd be funnier if instead of honking, if they just played the song Convoy at like loud. Start playing Convoy.
Just trucker music nonstop.
Right.
So it's eastbound and down, Convoy.
Like, yeah, Kenny Rogers will be played on a loop.
Yeah. 6 days on the road, and Mama gonna make it home tonight. Yeah, just
blare that
song. Yeah.
Right.
What they really should do and make it the most Canadian thing of all time is just play "Oh Canada" on loop, and just because then like what do you? I'm sorry, this is Canada. Like you're gonna arrest me for playing the national anthem?
Well, the only foolproof way will be "Oh Canada" performed by Celine Dion.
Oh fuck! Can they play some Rush too?
Right.
I don't know if they want to claim Neil Young anymore. I don't know if anybody wants to claim Neil Young, but
well, and you know what? How are the Trailer Park Boys not down there? I mean, his dad was a trucker.
Yeah, and Ricky ain't wearing no fucking mask.
No. Yeah. And that was your Matt and Aaron's knowledge on Canada.
Basically, yeah. That's pretty much it.
That's it.
Well, we could put Jim Carrey in there somewhere. Mike Myers. I know them a little bit, but yeah.
Beaver.
Yeah. What was the other topic I was gonna talk about today? Oh, Whoopi Goldberg. What's did you hear about the whole Whoopi Goldberg deal?
Yeah, about how she said the
Holocaust wasn't about race.
Yeah.
But I also kind of get it from her point. She's like, well, it's a bunch of white people problems, not my problem. And I was like, she's not completely wrong.
I mean, yeah, it's like everything else. I don't think people should get canceled for something stupid they said or offensive they said or even like seems offensive. I just like don't go after people's livelihood.
Right.
You're literally trying to destroy somebody for saying something stupid.
No, mock is what you do. That's mocking is the way to go.
Little jabs.
Yeah, I mean, like you can shit all over them. That's fine, but you don't go after their employment. I mean, come on. and unless they work in the government, and you go after them all the time. That's my money is.
I work in government. No, Matt, remember, you got to think of it this way. Your tax dollars are going to me, so it's okay.
I don't live in Colorado anymore, so I don't give a shit there. But but yeah, all these politicians at the federal level, go after their livelihood. They're a bunch of assholes. Fuck them. Fuck them. Hey, then besides, they're not making any money off of being a politician at all. You know, it's not like they're making hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, using the the benefits of their power and office to make money or anything, right?
So
It's not like they
did
ever do that.
anything come of it? Like all I heard is she got suspended, and then that's all I heard.
I think she just got suspended, but like I don't even think she should have got suspended. It's been like, like if I don't know, whatever.
I don't know.
But it's not a small secret that like most of the media organizations are owned and ran by Jewish people, so I can understand why they might be a little bit pissed about that. So, whatever. But I'm a free speech guy. Like I don't think you should be free from consequences, but I also like I think the First Amendment goes beyond just the federal government. It's supposed to be like the kind of the basis of how our political discourse is set up, and just general discourse in the country is general. Like you combat bad ideas with better ideas, and in order to hear a bad idea, like you have to let somebody say it so you can tell if it's bad or not. And the only way you know is like if you hear a better idea. Like
Right.
the freedom of speech is, there was a reason it was the First Amendment to the Constitution. It's the number one on the Bill of Rights. There's a reason for it.
It's the 69th in my book.
Oh, yoink. Nice.
Spider-Man.
We could also put Peyton Manning's head on Spider-Man. And while he's shitting, you can just call it Spider-Manning.
Oh God. It's Super Bowl weekend. Oh my God, Matt. Fucking your brilliance grows by the day. Wow.
Spider-Manning. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. I'll work on that tonight.
Well, does it have to be do you really want us shitting on the great Peyton Manning?
No, I want him.
Why don't you put Eli?
I want him shitting webs.
Oh, him shitting webs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Like he is the Spider-Manning.
Oh God, I thought I was shitting on.
No. No, it's Peyton Manning. He's the Spider-Manning.
Got it. Okay, never mind. That's great.
Yeah. I think it's a good one. But yeah, they that's a what is it with just like this cancel culture, and it's not just a left wing thing. It's far more prevalent on the left wing.
I feel like it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Like it's the younger generation. It's just a whole. You know what it is? It's a whole generation of just those kids who snitched in school.
Oh,
like they're just teacher Tommy drew on himself, like literally not hurting anybody, but just gotta stick that knife in.
Yeah, snitches get stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're well,
get off my lawn.
Well, yeah, like on the old guy topic. So they're I guess they're investigating Afghanistan when they left. And apparently there's reports that there was infighting between generals and Joe Biden's staff about like evacuation. Basically, like Joe Biden's staff slowed everything down so much that the military couldn't prepare well enough in time. Like it was just, and I'm thinking Joe Biden's staff's probably in that 30 to 45-year-old range. And it's just the people, it's the age of the people who are creating this atmosphere. I swear it's like our generation. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. But they they fucked that one up good.
Yeah, they did.
They had that suicide bomber, the truck bomber. They knew about him. They had like radar lock on him from a Predator drone, and were told to stand down. And then they just went and murked a dude in his family that was working for like like a humanitarian organization.
Oh yeah, I remember. God, that was sad.
Yeah, and that drone war is like that shit has caused so many problems over the years. Like, I get it's a neat idea that, like, you can just take your enemy out from wherever, but yeah, like they bombed a wedding. How many new terrorists did you create from all the civilian casualties? Like, god damn, dude. And it's the same thing with this ISIS leader. They're saying that he blew himself up. That's what the administration says.
I was gonna tell you it was hilarious in the articles. The title made it seem like the US government took him out. Not like he blew up himself and his fucking children. God.
But also there's like a bunch of NGOs reporting that, like, there was a lot higher civilian casualties. And did he take himself out, or was it another just like botched drone strike? I don't know. But either way, like, we won't know that till, they'll take credit for it, and then 6 months, 9 months, year, 2 years down the road, when everybody's forgot about it, they'll like, oh yeah, by the way, killed a lot of civilians on that one too. Sorry, guys.
You know what's some of the best things about getting old is when you get to like 70 or 80, you can read back like to times like these where you had thoughts or ideas about what was going on. And then hopefully we're still around and like the declassified stuff comes out.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like, yep, I was fucking right.
Did you see that State Department's spokesperson get lit the fuck up the other day over this? All right, so it was on, I think it was on like Thursday or Friday. I think it had been Friday when the administration released this report that Russia might be planning a false flag attack so that they can invade Ukraine. And so this spokesperson like laid it out, like, whatever, and this reporter was like, okay, so what evidence do you have for that? And they're like, we just told you. And he's like,
oh yeah, I did see that.
He's like, no, you made an allegation and provided no evidence. Where is the evidence? He's like, I just gave you the evidence. We declassified it. He's like, that's not evidence. And he's like, would you like, what would you like? I'll print you out a transcript of this press conference. He's like, no, you made an allegation and you said, because I said it, it's true. That's not evidence.
And it, like in situations like those is evidence, and they have like a picture of something or another,
Right. Yeah.
Like something, yeah.
Something. They usually have something, and it's usually bullshit, but they usually have something that they can say, oh,
piece. Yeah.
This is actionable intelligence. And they're just like, no, we said it was true, so it's true. And that's declassified, buddy. Okay, so what gave you this? And he's like, you just don't know what deterrence means. You were talking in circles. It's just like, my God, this administration is I thought the Trump administration was a circus.
Oh man,
God damn.
Joe Biden fucking looked Trump straight in the eye and said, "Hold my beer,
hold my Metamucil, Jack."
Right. Oh, Joe Biden, he does, like, he's fucking crazy, man. I'll fight you, jackpot.
He's just a left-wing Trump. Like, he's he's like, well, they're both left to center, but he's like the same guy as Trump. He's always been well, now he can't remember what he's saying, but he's always said stupid shit. He's never not said stupid shit.
Oh fuck, man, it's got to get better. Like, please, people, back a candidate who's practical for president, please. Like, just give us Give us a little.
You know, I'm putting all my money behind
What?
Dan Crenshaw. I just want to see him yell at some little girls some more. Like, you know, if we're gonna do this man thing like we've been doing, like we got the swimmer at Penn State now taking over women's swimming. We got Dan Crenshaw putting 10-year-old girls in their place. And I mean, like, we're on a real high upward trajectory right now, and I think Crenshaw is the guy to just put us right over the edge. Maybe he'll go over there and fight a 10-year-old Ukrainian girl.
I told my wife about your theory on how men are just, men again, they win.
Better.
She's like, oh my God, they fucking nailed it. She thought it was pretty good.
I mean, we're just taking over everything. I mean, just
right.
like every time the women think they got something to themselves, fuck no. Here we are. We're transgender now.
That's ours.
Fuck you, bitch.
And that is mine.
Yeah, exactly. Bitch, I don't think so.
You poor ladies.
I know you're never gonna win. You are never going to win.
Never. Sorry.
But I think maybe this is our scenario where we got here. Like, we send Crenshaw over. He's our most decorated Navy SEAL ever, I think. And ever. He lost an eye in battle. So we send him over. Ukraine sends a little 10-year-old girl. Russia sends a 10-year-old girl. And Crenshaw will fight them both.
Oh,
and then that solves the Ukraine crisis right there. Dan Crenshaw.
You know what? That'll be a part. That's going to be a part of our undercard. Or maybe that's the main event. Everything else leading up is a warm up, and then Crenshaw just wails on 2 10-year-old girls. Just
he steals Nancy Pelosi's lectern and just beats 10-year-old girls with it. Dan Crenshaw, 2024.
And his finishing saying after he's done is, "Nobody questions my faith." Just right in the camera.
Said, no, don't question my faith.
Don't question my faith. and then they'll make a movie about it starring Steven Seagal.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, and he's like 400 pounds. Still got the ponytail. He rips out his own eye because he's got to get in character.
Right. He's a method actor.
Mm-hmm.
You've got it.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, have to.
God, the fucking holes we go down. Jesus Christ.
I know it. What has Biden been doing here lately? Like, I haven't heard much from him. I
haven't either.
I didn't get a chance to listen to that or watch that video of my girlfriend that you sent me, the Jen Psaki. I still think she's kind of hot in a weird way.
I can't jump on that.
I'm
literally and figuratively.
Like, she doesn't keep me up at night by any means, but like every time I see her, I'm just like, I'd do it. But, like, she's kind of hot. But I don't spend much more time on it than that. But every time she pops up, I'm just like, hey, bad.
You're just obsessed with what it would be like. I feel like she would just belittle you.
She could try, but like everybody's tried that. It doesn't work. I'll just spin it back around to another rabbit hole. Like, I'm good at that. You can't belittle me.
Like, your picture, you're wanting that scene in Wolf of Wall Street where he's just like all tied up and he's got the candle in his ass.
I'm not into that. I'm just saying
Jen Psaki.
She could try to do the demeaning stuff, and it just wouldn't work. So I mean, like, I win once again, being the man. I win again. But she boy, like the White House press secretary is nothing but a paid liar. Like, it doesn't matter what
Oh,
what administration it is, they're a paid liar.
it'd be the worst fucking job. It'd be the worst.
She is one of the worst at it that I've ever seen. Like, she's not good at it.
She's not.
She's just snarky and condescending and not good. Like that Kayleigh McEnany would go at him and like, whether her facts were truthful or not, like, she at least had some shit to like back up her claims, and she'd go at people. But like most of Trump's whole deal, it was a shit show.
You know what? And McEnany was like, she was kind of nasty too, but she seemed more in control of. I don't know. I know what you mean though. Like, but you know what? Like, who wouldn't act that way with all the shit that's gone down?
Oh,
she probably gets these like reports of what Biden wants her to say, and she's like, "Oh, fuck me." Like,
I made a prediction that one of two things would happen with Sarah Huckabee Sanders when she took that job.
mm-hmm.
I was like, she's either gonna balloon up to about 400 pounds, or she's gonna like look like meth head skinny by the time they're done, because they are gonna rip her to shreds, and they did. But she didn't change. Like, she didn't get fatter. She didn't get skinnier. She just, like, I don't know. I bet she ate a lot of her feelings at night though, and then just ran them off in the morning. Because I guess I say you can't belittle me. If I was press secretary, that's like they went after her, man.
Huckabee doesn't seem like a runner to me. Maybe, like,
no,
she does her powerlifting.
Maybe she
more of that type of gal.
Spin class.
Yeah. Or curves.
Spin class, yeah.
Maybe, curves. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's curves.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know. Let's see.
Look it up. Look it up.
Okay.
I haven't lived anywhere where there might be a curves in a long time, so I don't know.
Oh yes, there are curves.
Huh.
There's only two, but they are there.
Where are they at?
They are in Arvada and Westminster.
Was that just a Colorado thing?
I don't know.
I thought that was like a nationwide chain, like 24-hour fitness or something.
Oh yeah.
But
it's
for the
nationwide.
Bigger ladies. Okay. And they're still around?
Oh man, California has like 25 of them. So,
all right. Well, good for you, ladies. Good for you. Just wait. We'll come take that over too. Don't worry. I bet it's owned. I bet it's already owned by a man. Don't worry.
You know what? It's, when the guys finally take it over, it's going to be called Balls.
Just bows.
Bows.
Just like Cartman. Bows.
Did bows.
Yeah, what else has been going on? Like, seems like a lot of shit. All of a sudden, like, there's been this big about face on the COVID restrictions. Like, New Jersey's dropping mandates. Oregon, which is a crazy place, like they're just as bad as California. They're dropping mandates.
Well, and look how Governor Neville Chamberlain looks now. Youngkin. I call him Governor Neville Chamberlain because he looked like Neville Chamberlain during his fucking inauguration, which, oh my God, how does the staff say, like, let's avoid that look, shall we?
Yeah.
But he like they were giving him all that shit a couple weeks ago, and then these Democratic governors are doing the same thing.
Yeah. And so now, but there's still like, there's like a bunch of school districts that sued him to be able, so they could mandate masks in the classroom. And it's like, have you guys not paid any attention? There's been like less than, I don't know what the exact numbers in, but very few children that have got seriously sick and died from this deal. Like they're the people, they're the ones that least need the protection.
Well, and I read an article, I think it was Colorado Politics, and they're a middle to left online service. They said polling is showing that support for unions, teachers unions, is like really low. I mean, like historically low. Which
I can believe that.
I mean, I know teachers' jobs are hard, but man, everybody else is working and getting to work. Like,
yeah.
I mean, this is what you chose. Join society. Where'd you go, Matt? Matt